Now, boom, we're recording. Thank you. And so what we're doing right now is we're recording. We're doing this. We're doing this project. By the way, this is CAD for Construction. It is week 11. This is April the 7th, 2021, and this is a custom garage plan. Custom garage plan. We're working on this one right now. So we're taking a look at it right now. Looking at the overhead view, the overall view, and this is the PDF. And as I take a look at this, you're going to notice that right here you have these two blue lines. Okay. And those blue lines represent the actual overhead track that would be used to actually roll up the door. That's what that is right there. You see this right here. You see that circle with the two lines? Anyone want to tell me what that is? Anyone know what that is?
Is that the sensor or the pulley or something?
It's actually, okay, good guess. It's close to that. It's actually an outlet, electrical outlet. That's called a duplex. It's a receptacle like you plug something into. All right, does that make sense? Anybody?
I think so.
Outlet? It's an outlet, yeah. It's like a receptacle, yeah. Like you plug something into it. That's the symbol. If you've not seen that before, welcome to the world of learning electrical symbols. Okay, so you just see that right there. I kept it simple. I just threw some in there. Even though this is an electrical plan, I kind of cheated on this one because I wanted to give you guys a little experience on this. That's what it looks like, a circle with two lines on it. That is actually an outlet. So don't say I never taught you anything, all right? So here you've got this. Okay, now this is not a thorough and complete electrical plan. It's just to kind of show how this works, and I want to throw those in there. By the way, I want to throw this out here. When you begin to work with Revit, there is a big need right now for people who know MEP, which is mechanical, electrical, and plumbing, and can actually lay that out in Revit. I kid you not. That is something that is a big market right here. So with the Revit skills, your nascent Revit skills, along with some knowledge on your part about HVAC and plumbing, and electrical, you could actually wind up doing quite well. I've got one young man, well, he was young before. I taught him when he was wet behind the ears kind of a guy. When I first moved to New York, I was a high school teacher. I taught BOCES, and I had a guy who was just starting off at this architecture firm, and he didn't know what he was doing, but he was kind of hiring it as an intern type thing. And he was doing mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. Well, now he's like their main guy. After all these years, it's been 22 years. He's on top of it, knows this MEP stuff like the back of his hand, and he's just killing it with Revit. Pretty cool. So, but I taught him the main, I kind of went over the main things in AutoCAD with him years ago. This was like AutoCAD release 14 or something, a long time ago. Anyway, so yes, so there's going to be certain symbols that will show up because Revit can give you a construction floor plan. We're actually looking down, it's going to give you a 2D plan, which you have right here. So you have 2D, you got 3D, so this is what we're going to be drawing here. So looking down here, you see a few other details. You see a hatch pattern representing the actual garage floor, and you see a few things here. You also see, as I back this out a little bit, you see that there are actually other elements in here, such as windows, like you see right here, and the tags that are associated with those. So these are some things we've got going on there. And that's how we go ahead and start to work with that. So that's the first floor. That's where most of the action is going to take place. Your second floor looks like this here. Now, second floor is interesting because this second floor right here, we're kind of like we're kind of cheating by adding a floor for more storage, like you might do in a garage. You'd actually put this together. So I took the liberty of doing this just so that you guys understand how to put a second floor on. And also, this one's going to be different because it's actually going to be cut up by the roof. Let me kind of point something out here. As we're taking a look at this right now, you'll see that as I have this going on right there, if I can grab that, let's see here. Let's see. All right, let's see here. I guess we're going to just let that go, aren't we? Okay, so we got this going here, and we got that going there. Okay, got a few. Okay, not sure what's going on there. Okay, looking for my zoom tools right here. Looks like I'm missing some zoom tools. Okay, so let me see if I can get those. There we go. I think we're right there. For whatever reason, that's not showing up the way it should. All right, but we're recording, so I guess we're okay. All right, okay, I'm not gonna worry about that. We will continue on. Okay, so anyway, we got this going on. So you got this. This is your attic, and it's being treated as an attic. It's got some stairs here, and that right there is actually a Revit family that represents attic stairs. So you've got that. That's your second floor. And then moving
Your
on,
screen isn't shared no more.
screen's not being shared anymore. Let me go back to that. Sorry about that. Let me go back to share screen. It's be this one right here. Let me share it. Okay, is that okay?
Yeah.
I see it now. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to go right to here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this on right here. Going to do this. Okay, so what you got right here is I was starting to mention right here, you've got this. You've got actually a wood grained floor that goes all the way across here. You got that. This is level 2. All right, moving on from there, this is what you have. This is the third floor. These are your elevations. Elevations are automatically generated when you create this, which is really cool. See how this works. So you've got your elevations and you've got your north, south, east, and west. And I'll show you how these go together as we make this happen. Then you've got a foundation plan. Foundation plan is real simple. It's just got your foundation. It's got a little thickened slab, which is 24 inches wide by 12 inches deep. That goes around the perimeter. You got that. Then you have a wall section. Now, this is something that you always have to have, and I kept these things deliberately simple, but this is how we'd actually use Revit to create a section and then create a detail out of that section. That's which is what we're going to see as we get into this right here. This is how we go ahead and work on that. And then we have a schedule. So all these elements are going to come together to make this happen right here. So that's what you're going to get. Now, where do you find this? Well, you find it like you would anything else in this class. You would find it out here in your, if I can find it, hopefully I've got it here. I thought I had my, I thought I had that open, but maybe I don't have it open. Okay, so I guess I don't have that open. Okay, so I'm going to have to go here and I will have to close out of that. Don't need that. And we're going to go here and I'm going to have to just go ahead and I'm going to have to open up my, this right here. So I'll go to here just to show you how you guys do the same thing. We go out to the Monroe Community College, go out here, and I'm logging as an employee. You would, of course, log in as a student. And as I've got this right here, I'm going to go ahead and go right to here. I'm still logged in, so that's good. So I'll go to here. And when we go out here, we go to Blackboard. Now, when we get out to Blackboard, this is what we're going to look at right now. Down here, we are now getting into this, getting into some of the meat here. So custom garage plans. This is actually weeks 11 and 12. This is week 11. So you got the custom garage project right here. This is where you'll upload it. This is where you'll submit it. Right here, you see custom garage template. We know what templates are. I've talked about these a lot. It's going to make life a whole lot easier. So you're going to use this template. Now, by the way, don't double click on a template. You want to start a new Revit project and then reference the template. A couple of you guys have already ran into this where you actually double clicked on it. It'll do it for you, but what's going to happen then is Revit's going to save it as a template. Some of you already seen this. It's not the end of the world. You can always make a project out of a template just by creating a new project using what you made as a template and then saving it as a project. So you can do it. It's just one more step. So it's just not best practices. You don't want to do it that way, but it's not the end of the world. No one's going to die, So then you got this is where you download your custom garage construction documents. You go right here, download this, print it, because you're going to need these. Okay. Now, as you'll notice, I've got right here, I have, can you guys see that? No, you just can't. It's kind of bleeding out the white. Okay, so let me see if I can do this. There we go. Can I cheat it? I don't think I can. All right, it's kind of bleeding out the white. So unfortunately, that's what that's doing. There we go. Kind of, sort of. But you can see I printed them up. You'll just have to believe me. Okay, so you print them up, get them printed, and you're going to use them for your own purposes. When I teach this class, if I ever get back to teaching this class again at Monroe Community College, which looks like it will not be next fall. At the earliest, it would be next spring, which the winter semester is named to be more attractive, I think. Who wants to think about winter? So it's a spring semester, and that's what we're actually looking at. Anyway, so that's what we're going to be working on, and we're going to be doing that whole thing. So you download those, you print it up, but when I do teach it in the classroom, I just print these up and give them to my students. But in this situation, I can't do that. Nevertheless, do that for yourself. Now, you'll notice I got custom garage tutorial 1, 2, 3, and 4. What I did is I went ahead and put these together. These generically describe how to do this project, although you don't have to use those. I will be giving you see, I CAD for construction week 10 and week 11. I keep on adding these on, okay? So these are all how to do this, okay? And each one of them kind of goes through it. I will be posting the Zoom meeting from tonight. I'll be posting this video as we're working on this right now. So you'll have lots of content to get this together. Okay, so we're going to go through the first basic elements tonight. We'll get this together. We won't complete it tonight, but we'll get the basic model done tonight. Okay, so you're going to do this. You're going to download the template. You're going to download the construction documents and you're going to print them up. Once you've done that, I'll just go ahead and go here. I'm going to download this template. So I click there, boom. Actually, I just click here. Click on there, boom, it's downloading custom garage. Template master 2019. I know we're in 2021. I haven't needed to change it though, so we're okay there. So what I would do then is I'd go out here to Revit, and in Revit it looks like this here. This is the existing project, and I'm just going to use this, and I'm going to go up here. I'm going to go to File, and I'm going to go to New. Okay, and I'm just going to let this other one run for right now. Now again, this is how you do it. Don't just double click on the template file. Okay, it's going to save you hassle if you don't do that. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to use the template that I provided. So you browse out here to wherever that would logically be. In this particular case, it's out here under downloads, and it's called Custom Garage Plan Master. Okay, that's it right there. I'll go to Open, and it's going to give me essentially, it's going to look like this, and that's what I've got, and I click on OK. Now, when I do this, it's going to go ahead and open it up. Now, what it's doing is whenever you do this, it's not an error for you to get this kind of feedback where it's saying it's upgrading it. This was a 2018 file, and we're bringing it into Revit 2021. Therefore, it's got to upgrade. It just has to happen one time. Once you saved it, you're good to go. So then it opens up, looks like this here. Now, when you open this up, this is a basic Revit background. You've already seen this in the project you've worked with right now, and these represent elevations. We talked about this. Those are elevation markers. Okay, so they're already there. That's kind of our arena. And so what I'm going to do right here is going to start over here in this one, and I'm going to go to here, and I'm going to go to level 1. So let's start with level 1. So when you take a level 1, this is a completed one, and this is what we're going to make. You're going to notice that over here, this is a 24-foot dimension for this for the vertical dimension. And the top right here, it's actually 30 feet. I didn't give you an overall dimension, but you'll see I've got 12'6" plus 12'6", 12.5 plus 12.5 is 25 plus 5 feet. It's 30. So it's a 24-foot by 30-foot structure. And that's what I'd start with. Okay. Now, let me just show you something else. Let me just go ahead and pick out what kind of wall is this. So I'll click on this. It tells me it's called Basic Wall Garage Wall. Let's just take a look at it. What's this wall going to look like? So if I go to here and go to edit right now, I can take a look at the elements in there. Let me go back real quickly because I did that kind of swiftly. Let me just go back here. Back it up, Tom. So I click on this right here. Now, one thing that you're going to want to always make sure that you got your properties and your project browser displayed on the left right here. If you miss either of those, you're going to have, it's pretty much impossible to operate with Revit. If those go away, this happened to at least one person this last week. I go here to view, and I go here to the user interface on the far right. And you go to user interface. This is how you can turn on your project browser and your properties. So if they're not on, turn them on. Okay, that's something you want to be aware of. Okay, so going back to here and continuing on through here, I'm in this modify walls right here. So I'm here and I've got this basic garage wall. So to see what's going on inside of it, I would go ahead and click on edit type right here. By the way, can you guys see that little red highlight? Is that helpful?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on there. So I click on this. I deliberately expanded these dialog boxes. They don't come by like that by default, but you can open them up, which I did for your dining and dancing pleasure. Okay, so I've got this right here, and you got this where it says edit. So edit is my construction. This is where I'm going to look at my basic elements, my construction elements. So go to edit right here. When I go to edit, you'll notice that it's got these different elements. You've got siding. Okay, that is actually closer to the exterior. See, it says exterior here, and then down here it says interior. So I got exterior side is at the top, interior side is at the bottom. So I got the structure. Siding is 1/2 inch. That's like your T11. I think we talked about that last week. T11 is what we'd have there. Then you got actually plywood sheathing, which would be underneath there. And then you got softwood lumber, plywood sheathing, and so forth. Actually, this siding would be cedar shakes. Excuse me, I misspoke. It's actually like cedar shakes in this one. And then you got plywood sheathing, then you got a stud, and then you got the other. So if I take a look at the preview here, this is kind of informative. If I go to here, this is what it looks like in a floor plan view. That's what this looks like. And if I want to get a little bit more detail, I can go to section view down here, and it gives me this right here. If I zoom in, it's highlighted in blue right now, this structure right here, that's highlighted. If I change it right here to finish right here, it gives me that right there, which is my plywood sheathing. Then I go down here and go to structure right here. By the way, those are misnamed. The siding actually should be a finish, but don't worry about that. I just misdefined that. And that's all we have there. So that's what we got going on there. So now that we have that happening, that is what we have to work with right there. So it's got these different layers. So when you're with Revit, the actual wall can be represented like I just showed you right there. So that's what you would have right there. So let's go ahead and see how this works. I'm going to pop out of there, and I'm going to continue to jump out of here. If I can do that. All right, yep, I can do that. Close out of there. And then I got this right here. So that is basic wall garage. I've got that. So back over to level 1. So let's go ahead and start this. So I go to start my wall, and I go to wall architecture, and I've got basic wall garage wall. So it's already set up. So what I'm going to do is going to start here. And what I said before is it's 24 feet, like here. So 24, type it in. And I can just go ahead and pull this over, make sure it's straight, type in 30, boom, and then go back down, 24 again, boom, and I pull it right straight across like this. Now, when I did that, you'll notice I was using finish face exterior, okay? So the finish face exterior meant that I actually went from outside to outside. That's not a small thing. The devil is in the details, as it is said. Now, let me just point something out right here. If I'm looking over at this one right here, you'll notice that I've got these dimensions called out. Notice this says 24 feet right here, and then notice to where the dimension line runs to. Does the dimension line run to the center of the wall, the inside of the wall, or the exterior of the wall?
The exterior?
Yeah, it's the exterior face. That's how I drew this. I drew this exterior face. So that's how that works. Very good. Thank you very much there, Brooke. Appreciate that. And so now that I've got this, I can go ahead and I can verify that my information is correct. So if I zoom into here, you'll notice that it looks like this. And by the way, if you want more detail, you can go down here, more or less detail. You can click on this down here and go to course. And look what happens when I go to course. I lose the detail. So course loses that. So if you're not seeing that level of detail, change it. Change it to be something like higher, like medium, or you can even go to fine. So I'm going to leave it on fine right here. Now, when I've got that, I can also go up to this right up here, which thins my lines out. And there's a little video that shows you right here what that actually does. What this video is going to do here is show you what thinning the lines or thickening the lines does. So you got that, and this is what it does. That is what this does. So if you want to see a bold representation, maybe you're zoomed out, then you turn off your thin lines. If you need to get some fine viewing of some line work, you would go ahead and turn on your thin lines. Okay, so let's do this. Let's find out how this measures up. Now, we talked about this before, but when you're working with Revit, if you click on this line right here, it doesn't give you the dimension for this one. It gives you that which is perpendicular to it. Why? It just does, okay? Now, over here, you're going to notice it's measuring. Notice where the measurement is. The measurement right now is telling me 23 feet and 1 inch, and it's actually going to where you see it right here. So let me ask you a question right here. Is my dimension, is this witness line placed where it needs to get the appropriate dimension?
No.
No, it's not. So here's what you can do. I can either take and drag this, or watch if I just click on it. I click on it once and it moves to the outside. So you have your choice when you're working with these of either outside, center, or inside. I just clicked on it. You can also click and drag it. I can click and drag this if I want to, click and drag it to where I want it to be. So you have your choice, okay? So I went ahead and did that. Now that is reading that right there. Now it's going to the outside. So let me go to the bottom one, just so we can check our dimensions here. This is something you always want to be aware of. And I can do the same thing. So I can click on it or drag it. So I'll click it once, and now that's going right to there. So now I'll my dimension, and shazam, it's 24 feet. So now if I want this dimension to be permanent, you'll notice there's a little dimension marker right here. And if I hover my cursor over, it says, make this temporary dimension permanent, meaning it's going to, instead of it just being a temporary dimension, it's going to take it and make it an annotative object, okay? So I click on it, it turns black. And now that is it's a solid dimension. Now, if I want to dimension the top, I click on this, and this one goes down here, and I have the same thing going on right here. Or I could do the bottom. In this case, the dimension, the temporary dimensions sometimes don't go where you want them to. It's not a big deal. They're completely flexible. But I do the same thing for this. I want to go ahead and depict this, so I click here. I move this witness line over to there. And I move this witness line over to here. And if I did it correctly, it should be 30 feet. And is it? Indeed it is. So I click on there and that makes it 30 feet, turns black. I zoom into it, there's 30 feet. So I have my 30 feet by my 24 feet dimension right there. So I've got that going out right there. I'm just gonna leave those in there. I can move them out later. But just to show you what I've done so far, I go to here and boom, look at that. You always wanna check what you've done. You always wanna go back and forth and check your 3D, make sure your dimensions are where they should be. And so what you've got right here is a solid cedar shake exterior. And then you've actually got like plywood interior walls. Okay, so that's what you got going on in this custom garage. So going through here, I've got this going on right there, and that's looking good. I go back to here, and it's looking good. Now, before I go any further, that's my final one. I want to go here. I'm going to save this, okay, because I don't want to lose this. So I'll go to File, and I'll go to Save As. I'm going to save it as a project. This is where if it only lets you save it as a template, it's because you double clicked on the template, like I said not to do. So if that happens, just save it as a template. You can fix it later. But I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to go here and save it as a project because I have the option to do that. I'm going to save it to my desktop. What the heck? And I'm going to call it Custom Garage Project. And I like to do all custom. By the way, you guys have been doing a great job naming your projects. Custom Garage Brennan. There it is. So I've got that saved. So we're now in a good spot now. Okay, so you've got that happening. Okay, and now that I have that, I can continue on. So now that I've done this, let me take a look at this, and I've got this right here, and this is actually a double door type element right here. And this double door right here, if I click on it, it's going to give me its information here, which is a door double glass 60 inches by 80 inches. Now, before I go any further, I'm clicking on the Revit object right here, so it shows you that. But I actually have this documented in the construction documents I gave you. Let me show you where they're at. So if you go out here to this right here, which you're going to print up, you can go right out here, and then this is where you can actually go out here to your door schedule. And door number 1 is door double glass 68 by 80 inches, okay, or whatever that, okay, which is this one here. Okay, that's number 1 right there. So you will use this, and your schedule is your key. Okay, so that's what you're going to do right there. That might be misnamed. Don't worry about it if it is. It's actually this one, 60 inches by 80 inches. So that 68 was an error. I corrected it in here. So it's door double glass 60 by 80 inches. So go back here, and what's the distance here? Well, the distance here is 4 feet off. So the edge is 4 feet off from the corner. So I remember that dimension. I'll go in here, and I'll see if I can't begin to place that in here. So I'll go first of all to architecture, and I will choose my door, and I will, there's door double glass. There it is right there. So it's already in place. So we're good to go here. So I'm just going to take it and place it on my wall here. Going to take it, and that's supposed to swing out. I'm just going to drop it there. Now, once I've dropped it there, you'll notice that, happy circumstance here. It says it's there. Now, if I click on this right here, this is where I can click on this, and I can go ahead and put the dimensions in. Now, you'll notice that this measurement is supposed to be 4 feet from the exterior. So guess what I do? I got to change my temporary dimension line. So how do I do that? I click on this. I click on that, and it should move it, and it moves it to the outside. And that's 3 foot 5.5, and that's supposed to be 4. So I'll click in 4, boom, and then I go ahead and make it permanent just because I can. I'll go ahead and take it, and I can go ahead and move it up. All right, so I've got that. Okay, so that is how I begin to place these elements. Now, you'll notice that this door is numbered incorrectly. So I click here, and I'll go ahead and just make that number 1. So I'll do that. So I go ahead and do that. That's number 1. We're good to go. So that is how we'd start this. Now, if I take a look at this, I can see it in 3D. And I take a look at that, and look at that, Shazam. All right. I go ahead. You don't have to say Shazam, by the way. And if you go here, you see that, and that is how we have that in place right there. And that's the realistic view, and that's starting to look like something. It's starting to really make some sense. You look at that, you guys see through the glass and see the wall. Pretty cool stuff. So we're looking pretty sharp. So going back to here, I've got that in place. Okay, so that is how we place your doors, and that's how you get them into position. So it's actually very easy. If you're fighting with it, you're not using temporary dimensions, and you're not doing what I'm showing you right now. So just be aware you can do it quite easily. Now going back here to my next door right here, I got another door over here. Let's investigate what that is. This one is over here, number 2, okay? And number 2 is also 4 feet from the side. So let's click on it. This one is actually half glass door. Then it gives me, it's 36 by 80. Now, Just to show you this right here, I did the same thing here. This is door number 2, half glass door, and then it gives you this number 7645, 36 by 80 inches. You want the 36 by 80, that's what you want. So we go back to here and we'll place that in here. So go back to here and we'll go to our doors, and we want to go to door. Let's find it. So we'll take a look, half glass door, it's right down here. By the way, all these, I've kind of cleaned this up so there's not too much extra stuff in here. So I'll click there and go ahead and drop it right here. So go ahead and drop it. And when I drop it, it's right there. Now, once I've dropped it, what I would need to do then is I'd have to make sure that the door swing is correct. And in this case, it is. Then I want to go ahead and I'm going to hit my escape key. I'll go ahead and click on it, and it gives me my temporary dimensions. And they're not in the right place, so I click on it. I can also drag them, and that's also supposed to be 4 feet. So I type in 4, boom, we're good to go. And I can click on that because I'm going to need that dimension. So now I got that. So I got this, and I can go ahead and click and drag this up. Yep, not like that. And I want to actually click and drag in the dimension and pull the whole thing up like this. So I do that. Now, when you do this, as you're beginning to put this along here, you could actually line these up. You click, if I click on this and pull it up, and to see it, I'm hovering the cursor. If you look close, you can see that there is the move icon, which is the same one as in that's in AutoCAD. So I can go ahead and click and drag. Now watch what happens. I pull it up right here. Look at that. See, that's trying to align itself like that, and it finds it. So there's all these temporary guides in there trying to get you to be consistent, okay? You just got to look for them. You let it go. Now they're lined up, okay? Pretty much there. Now at this point, I want to put a dimension on this door. So to put dimensions in explicitly, I'd go here, and I'd go here to my line dimension. So I click on this right here, and you'll notice it's asking me to either pick wall faces or something else, which is what I want. If I click this drop down, I get something else. But for right now, that's going to work for me. So I click here and over to here. And that's my, over to here, come on you, all right. And that's my 5 foot dimension, so I drop it there. So that's how we have that. And then what I wanna do is I wanna do the same thing over here. I'm gonna go ahead and click on this door here and click on this door there. And I'll go ahead and pull that up, and that's my 3 foot dimension. And then the remaining value between these should actually be, what's that, 14 feet. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that together. So I'm gonna go here, over to here, boom to boom, and we got that. So as I've done that, I have completed that side. Okay, that is how I'd go ahead and put that together. Then if I take a look at it in 3D, I can see it looks like this, and I can rotate it around, and there we have it, looking pretty good right there. So that is how we go ahead and start this process. Okay, so we got that. So that's how we do that. Now, the doors over here on the right, okay, these are a little tricky, okay? I'll grant you that. They're not terrible. They're just a little tricky. So as we take a look at these, let's see what we've got happening here. You've got these right here. These are your overhead garage doors. If we take a look at them, these are them here. So if I click on that and ask it what it is, it tells me it's a door garage embossed panel, 108 by 84 inches. That's the first thing, okay? Next thing is as you take a look at it, it tells you that this dimension, it's 2 feet from the outside of the building to the inside blue track, to this one. Not the outside blue track, the inside, okay? And it's 2 feet. And then from there, the dimension will be exactly 9 feet from the inside track to inside track. 2 feet between them, and then the same dimension down here. So they're nice round numbers. I did this on purpose to make it easy. Now, placing these is not that difficult. You just have to know what to do if they don't go where you want them to. So as I do this, I'm going to place one of these doors right here. So go back to here, and I'm going to go back to my doors, because even though they're garage doors, they're still plain old doors. So I go to here, and I'll take a look at my my choices, and I got this one here, my door garage embossed panel, 108 by 84. That's exactly what I want. So I click it here, you take it, and you'll notice that until yeah, question?
So in these templates, I know you showed us in in AutoCAD how to make our own template, but in this, how would you like insert one of these components? Like I know in the last template that you had, we didn't have garage doors, but we had like 3 different types of doors.
Yeah.
So how would you get different types of doors into one template?
That's a great question. If they don't exist, let me drop this and I'll show you. I'll show you something that's quite interesting. Okay, so let me go over here. I'm going to drop this and leave right here. Okay, so I'm going to leave that there. We'll come back to that in a minute. Okay, so let me just say this. Okay, first of all, let me go back in time. Back many years ago, into my young CAD career, back when the Earth was still cooling and dinosaurs roamed the Earth. And what happened back then is we would actually use blocks from different manufacturers. Well, the same thing happens now with Revit. And Revit allows you to actually go out and get components from different areas. Okay, so let me show you how this is done. So I'll do something real tricky here. I'm going to go out to, can you guys still see, you guys can see this. So I'm going to browse out here. So I'm going to browse out here and I'll go to Google. What I'm going to do right here is I'm going to do this. I'm going to, for right now, I'm going to sign out of here. Let's see here. If I can do that. Can I sign out of there? Sign out of all accounts. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, just so it's nice and clean. Okay, so, okay, I'll do that. That's fine. Okay, so now I'll go ahead and do this. And what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do a search here. Okay, just use Chrome. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say Steelcase Revit. Watch this. Steelcase. Have you guys all heard of Steelcase, the company?
Nope.
You haven't. Okay, well then you're in for a treat. Steelcase, I'm from Michigan. Steelcase is a Grand Rapids, Michigan company. They make systems furniture, meaning they make desks, they make pedestals, they make binder bins, anything that would make up like a workstation, they make all that kind of stuff. Steelcase is one of the premier manufacturers. You have others, such as Herman Miller, maybe you've heard of Herman Miller, IKEA, you know, same kind of a thing. You can do the same thing with IKEA type stuff. But this one works so well because they just got a great library online. So if I go out here and let's say I wanted a door, I want something else, I'm just using furniture as an example here. The same is true of any kind of element. This could be Armstrong windows, it could be Pella windows, it could be a lot of different things. So right out here, I'm just going to say, let me go ahead and take a look at something right here. I'll go look at desks and tables right there. So look at desks and tables, and I have I've got this kind of I got this chair, this desk. I've got wall tile. I've got a lot of cool stuff here. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead. I'm just going to pick this one. I'm going to grab that. And when I grab this, I'll go ahead and grab the download here. And you'll notice there's a download here for Revit 2020. So watch this. I'm going to download it. So I download this right now, and here it comes. It's going to come out here, and it's a zip file. And you'll know what a zip file is. So I go to the zip file, and I'm going to go ahead and highlight it. I'm going to extract it. So I'll extract this thing, extract it out. And I'll just go ahead and go to my downloads, extract it, and we'll go here, and that does that. Okay, so that's just extracted this. Now I have this content, okay? And this content is right here, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna upgrade the model right here. And what's happening right now is this is actually now opening up. There's the chair, okay? So that chair, I was able to bring it in just like that. Kind of cool. And now what I would do here, if I take a look at this, just so you guys understand that, you know, that wasn't just magic, that it really did come in. I don't want to be in the family editor, so I'll go ahead and just load this into the project. What the heck? I'll go ahead and go into this one that I'm building right now. I'll go ahead and bring it in. And when I bring it in here, it's going to go ahead and drop it into my area here. Now watch this. I've got this. I'll go ahead and drop it. Boom. And there's that chair. Okay, so this, again, this could be, to answer your question, James, this could be any element that you want it to be. It's that easy to pull it in. You just got to kind of drag it and drop it once you actually have it. Now check this out. If I were to go here, I could take a look at it in 3D by going here and going to my camera view. We talked about the camera view before. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna look at it from outside my garage, okay? I've got one of those, you know, garages that people turn into living spaces, all kinds of different names for it. I'll let you guys fill in the gap. But, you know, there's a, but anyway, that's what you got right there. And that's what we have there. Okay, so as I take a look at that, might have been looking in the wrong direction. So let me see here. Let me see what's going on there. What happened there? Going back to here. Okay, that's still there. And let me go back to here, see what's going on there. So I went ahead and dropped it. And that's
Isn't that because you started outside?
What's that?
Isn't that because you started outside of the?
Yeah, but let me show you something kind of cool here. I can grab this door here and I can right click then, and I can go to hide in view this element. Watch this. There it is. So you can hide something. So there it is. Okay. So yeah, I was trying to get a different vibe, but you see that right there, and there is my chair. Okay. Kind of cool. So that is how you can actually pull content in. Does that answer your question there, James?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Yeah, it really does work that easily. I'm not making this up. You know, at no time do my fingers leave my hands. It's that easy to go ahead and make this thing work. All right.
Yep.
Okay. Very good. And so that is how we go ahead and pull content in. Okay. And so as you go ahead and work with this, we're looking at this, and we go back to here. I got this little chair. I don't need it. So I just go ahead and delete it and get rid of it. So that's out of there. Now, returning to this one right here, I've got this. If I click on this, what I want to do right there is we talked about this, and I'd said that first of all, the dimension has to go to the inside track. Well, that's not to the inside track, so click on this and drag it to the inside track like this. You got to kind of drag this one. And then you see that's supposed to go to the outside. It's not, so click on this. So it goes to the outside, and there it is now. Click on that, and I'll type in 2 for 2 feet. Boom, done. All right, then I got that, and oh, I just lost it. Oh well, try that one more time. It says 2 feet. I'll click on this, and it does that. So I'll click on this and pull it over like this, and that's my first 2-foot dimension. So I've got that. Pretty cool. And then once I've got that, notice what I have. It says 2 feet, and it's going to that inside blue line to the exterior of the actual structure. So that's how you get that in place. Now at this point, I would do the same thing. As they say, lather, rinse, and repeat. And I'd go ahead and pick up this same point right here. And I'd go ahead and say, okay, let's go from here. And I want to go right to the very edge of this one right here. Again, inside. So go here, go there, and that should be 9 feet exactly. And Shazam it is. And you'll notice that it wants to go there. So now I've got that side built. Okay, it was pretty, you know, that's what I do right there. Now, let me take a look at it in 3D, verify that I'm on the right path. And I think I am. There we are, looking pretty good there, huh? So now that I have that right there, I could actually just replicate that, or I could mirror it. I'm going to mirror it just to show you guys how you could use this right here. And I can get rid of this one right there. Don't need that anymore. Okay, so I'll go to here. And what I'm going to do is I get into this right now. I'm going to do a mirror. So to mirror something, I would go ahead and click on this. And that's right now there. And you'll notice that all my tools show up here. I got move, I've got align, I've got offset, I've got copy, I've got mirror. So I'm going to use mirror right here. And mirror, I can actually go ahead and pick my axis, which I think will be okay here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select the axis of rotation. The axis of rotation, let's see what that be. Actually, it's not letting me grab that, is it? Let me see if I can grab it somewhere. The axis of rotation. It's not letting me grab a midpoint here. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try that again. I'm going to try drawing the axis, and I'll go ahead and pick a point right there. See that? See that triangle right there? A little kind of hard to see, but there's a triangle right there at the tip of it. I'll pull it right there again. Okay, you see the triangle right there? That tells me it's the midpoint of that wall. So I'll click there. When I do that, I then have the opportunity to go ahead and change the axis of reflection, which should be, I think, like that. And there it is right there. So I went ahead and got that. That looks like that. And that is how that was actually able to put that in there. You could also just draw it in there. Again, I just did that strictly for the potential of showing how this all works. So now that I have that, now this is where is this dimension going from? Okay, it's going from it's supposed to go inside to inside. We talked about that. So I drag it to the inside again. Okay, so both those sides. So it does that. And that tells me that's 2 feet. So that's exactly right. So I got that. I click on this and I pull this out. Okay, so now I got that. And if you hear some crying, it's my granddaughter. Sorry about that. So I'll go here and I'm going to go here and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dimension from right here. And I'm going to go right to down here and like that. And we'll go ahead and pull this off. We'll make this happen like that. And we'll finish it off right here. So now that I've got that, I'll do one more dimension going from here to here. And that is what it should look like. So then that is nice and neat along like that. So once you got that, you got that. And so you got this kind of a view. And then when I go to here, I take a look at it and it's being built quite nicely. I save it again. Okay, so we're doing pretty well right there. Okay, great. Okay, so now that we've got that, we are moving forward. It's going well. And we're getting a pretty good idea as far as how this gets built with reason and with you know, a very logical workflow. So this is going well. Next thing we got is we now need to populate the window right down here. This window right here, if I click on this one is, notice it's window with a tag number 1. That's a window. And you'll notice that it's slider with trim 60 by 36. It's 5 feet and it's centered at 12'6" from each side. So we're going to do that. So go back over to here and that's going to be 60 by 36 slider with trim. So I go up here to my architecture, I go to my window, and I'm going to change this to 60 by 36 slider with trim. It's right down here at the bottom, most recently used types, because that's the last thing I used in here. So go here and I'll try to find, now here it's going to try to find a a kind of a halfway point, but it's not going to do so well because it's grabbing the garage door instead of the actual outside wall. So I'm just going to drop it and I'll force it later. So now that I've got that, I got to tell it where I want it to go to. So I'm going to click on this to go to the outside. So that's the outside right now. And now that I've got that, I'll do the same for this one. I'll go ahead and click on this one and make that one go to the outside. So those go to the outside. And now once I have that, I'm going to type in 12.5 feet, which is that. And then once I have that, this should also be there. And this one should go actually over to here. And we go to here. Okay, now you see that's not coming in the way I want it to. So I'll grab this and pull it right to where I want it to go to, which might be a little ticklish. Should be able to get there. Come on, you. Now, if it doesn't get this, you see it's not doing this here. I'm going to hit my tab key till it finds it. Let me try that again. Let me do that again, right? Because that's not what I want. Well, I know that this, okay, so I know this one is right now. That's 12'6" is right. So I'll go ahead and click on that one. That one's good. And then I want to get this 5'5", and I'll just put these in explicitly, okay? Because there's more than one way. As long as you get one, the other one's going to be correct too. So just work on getting one. Then I'll go ahead and put another one of these, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go from, again, here over to there. And I picked that up right there, found it, no problem. If it doesn't find it, you can hit your tab key. Like for instance, if I'm drawing this right here, if I'm putting in a dimension, if I click on one point here and it doesn't want to find it here, I can go ahead and hit my my tab key, and it starts to cycle through whatever elements might be there. Okay, if I go here, for instance, it's gonna try to find what it can. So go ahead and go to here, click there, and pull it down. So your tab key allows you to cycle through the basic points that you have there. So you got that there. And then I have this last point down here. I want to go ahead and dimension this. So this one, I can just go from the exterior. And again, if it's not grabbing the right point, I hit my tab key a couple times. And you see it cycles through whatever points are available. Just hit my tab key. So I want it there. So your tab key will help you quite a bit here. I know, oh, what happened there? Again, okay. All right, a little graphics error there. All right, so try this again. Sometimes that happens. And okay, go to here, and I'll go to here, and pull it down. There we go, 12'6", 12'6". There we go, looking pretty good. Okay, so now we got that. So then we go take a look at it in 3D and see what we got there, and boom, we got that light right there. So that's looking great. That's looking real good. So we are making good progress there. Okay, now the last thing is this over here. You actually got over here on the far left end, you've actually got nothing. Okay, so that is complete. Okay, so that actually completes this, and that's actually our stairs, which are right there. So that completes it, except for my outlets. Okay, I got outlets down here. So I got 3 on this wall. I got 1, 2 here. I got 1 over here. I just kind of randomly put them. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. There we go. So I'm just going to place those in here. So how do I do this? Well, this is how you would begin to place these. So to put an outlet in, this is something that this is totally an extra. I'm just throwing this in here just so you guys can kind of wet your whistle here. But to put these in here, these are under systems. Systems meaning HVAC, electrical, plumbing. So go to systems, okay? And under systems right here, this is where I'd place this in here. Well, over here at the far right end here, I've got device. So I click on device, I've got, that's electrical fixture, I believe. And this is where I could actually change this. It's duplex receptacle by default, GFCI. So I've got these right here. So I just go ahead and place these. Now watch what happens when I place them. I take this, and I'm not too terribly worried about where it goes. Go ahead and click, place that there, and then place that there. Maybe I did get the wrong one. Let's see here. Let's see here. Let me get this again. I'm not so sure that was the right one. All right, let me go ahead and change that. I don't think that was the right one, so I'm gonna get rid of those. All right, come on. Okay, that's right. That's over. That's all right. Okay, let me close out of there. Didn't like that. Okay, so that's out of there. Okay, so let me go back to here because I want to make sure I get the right ones. Which are they called? Let me find out. So go to here, click on one of these, and what is it? That, oh, it's an outlet duplex single. That's what it is. Outlet duplex single. That's what you want. Okay, so go back to here, and instead of using what I had, I'll go here, and I'll go here, and electrical fixture, and I'm going to change this to outlet duplex single. That's what I want right there. So go to here, and now this is where, okay, see that? Okay, so that gives you right that. So I got one here, I got one here, And again, like I said, I'm not really too terribly worried about this being perfect. I'm just trying to get something in here. All right, I got those. Then I got 3 along this wall. Now, for those that have actually done this kind of work before, there are actually codes that cover this whole thing. I'm not worried about code compliance right now. I'm just placing them in here. Now, when I place them, let me show you what it looks like. When you do that, check that out there. This is a simple what we call a family or a component. And this one actually doesn't have the outlet, the actual receptacles, doesn't have the actual holes. You can get blocks that have more detail. By default, this one does not have them, so I'm just leaving it like that. So that's so if you take a look at this, it's fine. that's just how this one shows up. It's a little bit limited in its view. Okay, so you got that. Okay, so now that pretty much completes that first floor. And just like, wow, that was pretty easy. Wasn't too bad at all. So we go back to here, we take a look at it, and boom, that's looking great. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take a little break because we always do it this time. We're going to because this class is supposed to be 50 minutes of lecture and then a break and then lab. And I'm just going to have to go a little bit longer for lecture right here. So we're going to stop right there. I'm going to park it, and I'm just going to go ahead and turn off my my microphone and stuff. I just got to step away for a minute, and we'll just take a little 5-minute break, and then we'll come back. So I'll see you guys in 5 minutes. I'll see you in 5. We will reconvene, and we'll continue on with this. But you guys are doing awesome, and we will go ahead and do that. So I'll see you guys in 5. Okay, we're back here. Let's see here. Guys should be able to see me okay. All right, we're back. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. All right, we're going to continue on here. You guys are doing well with your patience. So we're going to continue on here. And what we're going to do next is we are going to put in a few other things here. One of the things we need is a floor. And when you put a floor in, we've learned how to do a floor before. But if I just go ahead and try to select this floor here, I can't do it. So I'm going to show you a little trick here. You don't need to do this very often, but if I go down here, I've got this thing right here. I can go ahead and select elements by face. If I go ahead and do this, I can click right on the floor. That allows me to see what kind of floor it is. So this is a floor generic 12-inch floor. Okay, that's a floor generic 12-inch floor, and you got that right there, and it just goes from corner to corner. Okay, so I already saw what it looks like. So I'm going to put a floor in by going over here to my architecture pull down, and I'm going to go here to my floor, which is right here, floor architectural. And floor generic 12 inches right there. And now when you do this, you could pick your walls. You could do this, and this will add sketch lines based on the existing walls. We could do that, or we could make a rectangle. I don't remember what I did with here before. I'm just gonna use a rectangle, see how this works. Actually, I'll do the walls. What the heck? That's what's chosen. Now watch this. I'm going to click there, and you'll notice that a little purple line shows up. Now when you do this, Revit is going to give you what's called a boundary. So notice that this right here, it looks like it says pick walls. This means I can go ahead and pick on a wall like this. And notice when you hover your cursor over it, it gives you this. So this is an acceptable choice. And what I'm doing is I put these together right here. It does this. Now, when you are making a floor, it's always got to be closed. It's like a polyline in AutoCAD. To give you a proper boundary and get square footage, it's got to be closed. In this case, it is. So so when it's done there, you'll notice I got a red X, which means abort. I don't want to do this. Or green, which means yes, I like this. Let's go ahead and proceed. So I click on the green check mark, and it gives me that right there. And that is what I have in place right there. Let's take a look at that in 3D, see what that's looking like now. So now we see this right here. There's our concrete floor. Looking pretty good here, guys. Looking pretty good. So now the next thing, the conversation we had earlier was about what if you need something that's not in the project. Well, the next thing that you see that I'm going to bring in right here is actually one of those items. And what this is going to be is right here, down here. I've got down here, you'll notice I've got some items down here. I got families. So I'm going to click on families down here. And one of the families that I have down here is, I think they just call this particular one as a generic model. And under generic model, I actually have all these different items in here. Oh, okay, don't want that. Generic models, I got these attic, this right here. I've got these attic access right here. And the one I want is attic stairs facro. Okay, so which one do I need? I've got these different ones. So let me take a look here. I'll tell you which one it is. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to grab this, and I click on that. It tells me it's attic stairs facro. That's a manufacturer, 22 by 47. And I believe this has to go in on this floor. I'll find out in just a second here. So it's 22 by 47 that I want here. So I go over here and I find this 22 by 47. Boom, I click on that. I start to just drag it in here. When I do this, I'm going to drop, okay. None of the cradles are visible in the floor plan. You may want to check the active view. So go ahead and click on that. Okay, so it didn't like that. Stairs are turned off. So I'm not sure why it did that. Let's see here. Let me just go ahead. Let me try this. I'm going to go ahead and just going to, I'll try and put it on the second floor, see if that kind of resolves that issue. So we'll just leave that. We'll get that out of there for right now. We'll come to that later. Oh, we'll go there. We're good to go. Okay, so we did this. So we're going to leave that. That's the first floor. Now, I'm going to show you something here that we did complete here. I'm going to just close this out and move up here. I'm going to look at my elevations. Now, check this out. As I look at my elevations, look at what's already been built. I go to the east view, and look at that. It's already got something in there. Now, by the way, if these don't line up correctly, I can click on this, and you see there's a circle right here on the very left part of this. I can drag it over to the left like that. And when I do, it looks like this here. So you got level 2, you got level 1 right there. It looks like that right there. If I go to north, it is also complete, and south. And these are already generated because there were existing elevation markers that we had. So that's why this is working out so nicely. So I've got that going back to level 1 right here. This is what we have. And that looks, actually, this is our level 1. This is our level 1 right here. So what we're going to do right now is from here, we've got this in place. Now we're going to do our level 2. So go to level 2, and Actually, I'm going to put in my roof next. I'm going to put my roof next, and I'll put in my level 2. So to put in my level 2, we're going to put in a roof. So the roof that we're going to put in here, just to show you what this looks like, I'm going to go here, and I'm going to grab this roof in this other one. I'm going to just show you what the measurements are, what the specifics are. So I'll click on this one, my completed model. This is the basic roof with wood rafter of 8 inches, asphalt shingled. Okay, that's what that is right there. The next thing you see down here, it's got a roof pitch of 912. That's important too. So it's a 912 roof pitch, and that's what you got right here. Also, I believe it's got a 1 foot overhang, but it might not tell us that. We're gonna give it a 1 foot overhang, and we'll go ahead and do that. So now that we have this right here, I'm gonna put this roof in. So I'm gonna go to here, and to put the roof in, I'm starting it from this location here, and I'm gonna start by drawing a roof. I'll go to roof right here, and I'll go roof by footprint. So roof by footprint. And now right now, the overhang, I guess it's 1'3" is the default. So I'll leave it at 1'3" because I set this template up to be the way it is right now. And you'll notice that right now, it's giving me this choice right here to do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this. I'm going to change this to wood rafter, 8 inches like that. We talked about that. And this should be 912 roof pitch. Let me scroll down here. I'm not seeing it being 912 roof pitch. So it's because I haven't put anything in yet. So I'm going to go ahead and let these all define a slope. You'll notice that you can do this. Now, I'm going to show you how this works. Now, you hover your cursor over this, and the dashed line is showing you the overhang. That should go to the outside of your structure. So I go ahead and I pull it around like this, and I do that. And when I'm done, I hit my green check mark. And when I go there, it looks like this. Would you like to attach the highlighted walls to the roof? I could say yes, or I could say no. For illustrative purposes, I'm going to say don't attach. I'm going to leave that alone. Now, when I have this, let's take a look at what it looks like. That's what it looks like right now. Now, what's wrong with this picture? Well, it went in too low. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And what I need to do is change its level. So right over here, I'm going to change it from level 1 to level 2. I did that on purpose too, just to show you guys how it can go wrong on you. Revit will sometimes prompt you. In this case, it didn't, but I'll just go ahead and say level 2. And when I do that, boom. Okay, now that looks right. Okay, that looks great. Okay, now what I want to do at this point is I want to change, because that's what's called a hip roof. That means that I've got all these slopes on all the sides, but I don't want that. So what I want to do is I want to fix that. So now that I put in a roof, I can access this from level 2. And if I go ahead and click on this, it shows me, if I can grab that, looks like it's not giving me that. Let's try that again. Let's see here. If I go to level 1. It's not giving it to me there. Level 2, it's not there. Okay, so to get that roof's not showing up in level 2 there. Okay, so let me do this. If the roof's not showing up, okay, we're going to just open up another page of instruction here right now, which we've talked about a little bit, but I'm going to show you how this works right now. When you are in a situation where you want to see elements that maybe are not visible, but they should be, that means they've been turned off. Okay, so we're going to fix this. So to fix this right now, we're going to go out here to view. Under view, there's actually some choices right here. It's like turning layers on and off. But if I go to my visibility and graphics right here, I can change this, and I can change this right here to my model category. So I'm going to scroll down here, make sure my roof is on. And if the roof is not on, it's unchecked right here. That's why I can't see it. So I'll click on roofs, and I'll click on apply right here, and I'll hit OK. There's my roof right there. So it was turned off. So I went ahead and turned it on. This is something that just you'll get in the habit of doing right here. So you can turn things on and off. And again, there's a shortcut. VV opens up the same thing. This is the same thing, but you can turn anything on and off right from here. Okay. It's like turning on and off layers in AutoCAD. So I'm going to click on this roof. Okay. When I have that right here, what I want to do is I want to get rid of the slopes of the roof. So to do this, I have to edit the footprint. And when I click on edit footprint, watch what happens. My purple lines come back. So now I can click on these purple lines one at a time. I can click on this one, and I can do another one by holding this down, do 2 at a time, or I can do them just 1 at a time. But I just grab 2, and you just want to go to define slope, uncheck it. So that means this will no longer have a slope, and no longer will this. Let's see if that takes care of our issue. So go ahead and do that. Would you like to attach the highlighted walls through? If I'm going to say, nope, don't attach right now. We'll get to that later. So now I'm going to go back to here to level 2, my 3D view. Oh, look at that. Looking better now, isn't it? So take a look at that, and that's definitely looking more like it should. Okay, now we have that. And because I didn't attach the walls to the roof, that's how it looks right there. So anyway, I got this. So now at that point, that is what it should look like. Okay, we got that going. Now, because the walls did not attach to the roof, I'll show you how to do that. I click on this right here, and I say, attach top or base. I'm going to say attach top. So go here and I grab the roof and it attaches it just like that beautifully. So I scroll around to this side, I click on this wall and I attach this one to the roof like that. So now you've got that. Boy, that's buttoned up. That's looking pretty sharp already. All right, so now we got that. Okay, so now we have that right there. I'm actually missing a window right here that's on the second floor. If I go back over to here to this one, you'll notice that I'm missing some elements. I'm missing this window right here, and I'm also missing this the second floor. So we'll fix that right now. So going back over to here, we'll go back to this one, which is the one that doesn't have this yet. And we're going to go to level 2. Now, what we're going to do right now is we're going to change. We're going to go ahead. We're going to change this. And we're going to put in a second floor. So how do we go? Well, first of all, notice that what you got right here, this is showing me the roof line. Now, I don't want the roof line, so I'm going to hide it. Now, how do I do that? VV opens it up. And I go down here and say, you know what? I'm done with the roof. I'm going to go ahead and turn that off now. So go down here and I uncheck roofs. And I hit apply and hit OK. And now I've got this. Now what you're seeing right here, this is the roof line. This is basically where the roof is actually cutting into the walls. Okay, that would be above it. Okay, where we drew those walls, that's what's happening right there. So that actually is happening. The walls are in place right now. So the walls have been drawn and they're actually cut off because they're not full height. And whenever you're drawing in any kind of a plan view, there's always going to be some level of a section line that's usually around 4 feet or so, and that's going to cut the wall. And what you're seeing right there, that's the wall that remains after it's cut by that level because the roof is coming in and cutting off the rest. Hopefully that makes sense. But that's what's happening right there. So now that you have that right there, you also have the same over in this one right here. So what I'm going to do is in this view, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save my work because I don't want to lose it. So I'll save that. And then I'm going to go to level 2. Now, notice the level 2 right here. This is what this should look like. Okay, so I've got essentially my attic stairs right here. So I've got this going on right now. And as I have that right there, I've got a window that's over here. It's actually, this window is actually double hung with trim, 36 by 48. So I can start by putting that in. Then I can put in my floor, which is this one. The floor is actually floor wood joist, wood finish R14. So that just goes right along the outside. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to work on that. So I'm going to go here to this view right here, and I'm going to go to my level 2, and I'm going to go ahead and we'll go ahead and put this together here. So I could do this. I'll go ahead and put my my window in first, and the window goes over here. I'll go to window, and I'm going to, and I'd said that that was something with a trim, double hung with trim, 36 by 48. Didn't I say that? I think I did. Let me make sure. Double hung with trim, and that's going to be, yeah, double hung with trim, 36 by 48, exactly. So I'll use the double hung with trim, 36 by 48. I'm going to pull this over here. Now watch what Revit does here. I pull this over here and watch what Revit does. Revit, by default, centers it. Okay, as long as you put the cursor kind of close to the center point, it's going to say, oh, I bet he meant the center. And so I go ahead and click and boom, it's committed. Okay, it tells me it's centered by giving me the dimensions right there. So that was easy. Okay, it wasn't anything to that at all. So I go take a look at this now. I now see there I have that window right there. So that window is now in place. If you take a look at the 3D view, you'll see that the window is right there as well. So I got that. So we are looking good. Then over here to level 2. Level 2, as we go into this, I'm going to put this in. Now I'm going to put this floor in. So to put this floor in, I'm looking at this and I'm going to go right from here. I'm going to go to floor, architectural, and I'm going to put in a different floor, which is going to be this one, wood joist, 12 inch right there. That's the one you want. So what I'm going to do right here is I'm going to go ahead and pick the items right here. And I'm going to go ahead and pick these and see how this works. And we'll take that, okay. I'll say, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, so it looks like that one, I'm all done. Okay, now that one, it kind of went too far. Okay, so that's not really what I wanted to do. So I've got a couple choices. I could either modify this or I could just try to draw it again. I'm just going to draw this again. So let's go ahead and I'll get out of here. Do I want this? Sure. Yeah, I'm going to just discard that. So now what I'm going to do at this point, I'm just going to go to here, go to my floor, and I'm going to do this. I'll just use a rectangle. I'll go from the inside corner to the inside corner. Like that. And then I'll hit the green check mark. And, like that. And that's what we have right there. So we got that in place right there, and that is what's going on. And there you go. So that is what you have going on right there. So now that I have that right there, I've got this in place, and that's looking good. And then at that point, I think I have, I'm not sure if I put dimensions on there. I don't think I did. So, but that is placed all, yeah, then I just have the attic stairs. So the attic stairs go in place right here. Let's see, is that all correct? I think that's all right. Yeah. Okay, that's good. And then, yes, we're looking good. Okay, so then at that point, I'm going to put in the attic stairs. Now we talked about the attic stairs, and the attic stairs would be actually down here. And they're at 22 by 47. I'm going to grab this and pull these into here. Now you'll see they do show up here. And I'm going to hit the, now to rotate these, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to hit my, my tab key, or my spacebar rather. Oops, not doing it, is it? Okay, so I'll go ahead and I'm going to drop it. And then once I've got that in there, once I've got that dropped in there, I think it'll rotate. So click on this. Well, let me rotate it there. I'm not so sure. We'll see. Okay. Okay. You know what? You got to rotate on the first floor. That's why. Okay. Yes. This one, it's a little funny. You put it in on the second floor, so it makes a hole. And then you go back to the first floor. That's where you rotate it. So going back here to the first floor. Okay. Let's see here. Which one did I, okay. Which one am I working on? I don't know. Yeah, this is what I want right here. Okay, this is the one I want. Yeah, this is what I want. Okay, so I'm going to take this one. I'm going to rotate it. So click on this, and this is where I get my space bar. And the space bar rotates it. And this is where you can rotate it in different configurations, which I'm going to do. And then what I'm going to do is once I've done that, I'm going to go take a look at it on my second level. And when I do that, it gives me this view that looks like that right there. And yeah, you just want to configure it like that. And then if you're not sure how it looks, you can go to your 3D view. In this case, I can look in through the window. And yep, there's my stairs right there. And I can do it and take a look through here. And there they are right there. So you can just kind of do this to get a visual on this and see, oh yeah, okay, there they are. And that's how your stairs would go in. Okay, so that's how we have that. Okay, so now that we have that in place, that looks good. And so what we would do from there is now that we have that, I think that completes that floor. Okay, we got that. The only thing we need, the corners here for some reason, I'll go ahead and save this. Okay, for some reason these walls did not really join. Okay, I think I see what happened there. Yeah, okay, you're seeing the overlap of the floor down there. Or, yeah, I think that's what I'm seeing there. Okay, so I'm seeing some information from underneath. Yeah, that's actually my concrete. That's all showing up down underneath there, which is a little different. So I'm not sure why that is. But
Which attic stairs did you say they were?
what was that now?
Which attic stairs?
I'm sorry, what?
Which attic stairs were they?
The attic stairs were this one, 22 by 47.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, those ones you want. The others would still work, but this is the one I picked. Okay, so you got that. Okay, now as far as this floor, you know what? I don't know that I'm gonna. Yeah, I could just actually change that by editing the footprint, which I'm gonna do. What the heck? I'll go ahead and do this. I'll go ahead and take this. I just gotta pull it down like that. I'll just pull that in to resolve that. So you can do this either way. All right. Yeah, these floors can sometimes be a little problematic, and so I'm just going to take my liberty here. It's going to pull this around. It could, well, actually, you know what? That's probably right, though, isn't it? All right, so we go here and do check mark. What's I can do there? Yeah, that's actually probably not correct, though, is it? No, I don't think so. Yeah, that's not how you want it, so forget that. Okay, select level 1. All right, back to where we were. 3. Yeah, right to where we were. Okay, so that is okay. That's actually fine. So we'll leave that there. And then as far as the other, I think I see what we did there. What I did there. This one actually has the floor. I think going. The floor is right on the perimeter there, and here the floor is. I don't want to get hung up in details here, but these corners, for whatever reason, we're seeing. I'm not seeing everything that I want to see. That's okay. Not going to worry about it right now. I may have an extra. Basic wall, that looks good there. Basic wall, and Oh, that's my drywall. That's my basic garage wall. Okay, that's fine. We're good. That's all you need to go. And then, oh, and I went too far, didn't I? I did go too far. So I'll go back, redo a couple things. There we go. I'll redo that. Okay, there we go. Now, the last thing I wanted to do is put a notation that says attic stairs. Now, one thing about this is this actual, the scale of this plan should be 3/8 of an inch equals a foot, which it is. See, this says 3/8 of an inch equals a foot. Now, how do I know that? The plans say it. If you take your plans out, it actually shows at the lower left corner on the plans what the scale is. So I'm using 3/8, and that's going to scale your annotation. This is 3/8, so I'm going to go here and put in some text. So how do I do this? I would go up here and I would go to my annotate. Annotates right here, and this is how I put in text. This letter A. So the letter A right here. So go to my letter A, and this is where I can actually put in text, or I can put it with a leader. So I can go ahead and use a leader right here, and I'm going to pick a point here, click, and then over here, I'm going to type in attic stairs. Okay, all caps, attic. Now that looks too small, doesn't it? Okay, so if it's too small, if that actually does come out too small like that, you can select it like this, and you can change it to be a different size, like 1/4 inch Arial. When you do that, it does that. Okay, so again, I selected it, and over here, I can actually change the kind of the size of it. And over here, if I do the same thing over here to level 2, I can find out this, click on this, and that tells me that's 1/4 inch. So yes, 1/4 inch is the correct size. So I've got that, and so I've got that in place. So that's looking great. We're looking really good here. Okay, so let's see what we got going on here. We'll take a look at this back in 3D. We're gonna take a look at this. Let's see how we're doing. Let's see. Now, to examine this in a little bit more detail, to see just how we're doing here, I'm going to use right here what is generally referred to as a section box. So I'm right now in 3D view, and you do this through the 3D view. I scroll down here, and you'll notice that over here, if I can grab this, you'll see it's a section
Hey,
box.
Professor,
Yeah.
how do you move the screen without grabbing the box up in the top right?
Okay. To around, you hold your shift key down, and then you hold your middle mouse button down.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Thank you for asking. And then you go to section box right here. Now watch this. If I go to section box here, what that does, it's going to give me a glass box. Now, and basically what this allows me to do is click on this, and then it gives me this little control. You see this little control here? I can take it and push it back in. When I do that, I'm able to take a look and rotate and see what I've got here. Okay, looks pretty nice, doesn't it? So that's what I have in place here. Oh, I got to put in a couple of knee walls right here. I'm missing those. Okay, so that's the last thing. And so I've got this in place. It looks good. Just need to put a couple of walls in here. So that's it. So that's what it's going to look like. So now we're looking great, looking real good. Last thing I have to do is put these walls in. I knew there was something right here. These are interior 5-inch partition. And so that's the last thing I'm going to do. So I'm going to put those in. And in reality, I just kind of did this almost like a busy work kind of a thing, but I do want them in here. So what you're going to do is go to wall, and you're going to go to here to 5-inch partition, I think is what we said. Is that what we said? I think we did. Yeah, let's see here. Garage interior 5-inch partition. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pick a point here and pull it down over here like that. Okay. Now when I've got that, this is supposed to be, I go ahead and click on this, and it gives me a temporary dimension. Oh, I got it perfectly. So that's supposed to be 6 feet actually. The dimension, see is 6 foot right there. 6 foot from the inside to the inside there. Let me see if that's right. I'm not sure if that is or not. So let me go ahead and take a look at this. So I click on this. Is that correct? It is. Okay, it's supposed to be 6 feet to the, yes, it's 6 feet from the outside to the outside of the walls. That's what you want that to be. So you just want to make sure that your grips are where they should be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this wall again, and I'm going to click on this to go outside, and then I just make that 6. I'm going to do that. Boom, it moves that over, and we're good to go. That's in place right there. That's the wall. That's what that should look like. So that's there. And then I can do the same thing down here by just starting my wall again and doing the same thing, kind of eyeballing it and going over to here. And then same thing, I click on this. Let's see how we did. And I just go ahead and tell this to go out to this direction. And when I do that, it does this. And that's, I'm going to just make that 6. And boom, it does that. And that is what you have there. That's what that should look like when you're all done. And if you did want to put dimensions on, you could go here and click like this. All right, that's there. And then you go ahead and continue with the rest of them. And again, it's the plan does not have these, but I'm just showing you what you would do if you wanted to do this. All right, so just doing this. All right, and that should be 12 feet. And it is. We'll do one more. Like that. Okay, so that's what that should be. And then when we have that in place, that is a wrap. That's a wrap right there. So that looks pretty good. Okay, good. And then let's see here. So I don't know why that's doing that. Why is that giving me that basic wall? Garage wall. Why is that giving me that look right there? I don't know. I don't know. Don't what's going on with that. Not gonna worry about it. Oh, okay. So I got these. Now look at that. That's completely wrong now, isn't it? So guess what you can do when that happens? This is where the actual attach works just as well. So attach again to this roof, boom, like that. And I grab this and attach this, same thing, attach this to the roof like this. When I have that, boom, I've got that space like that. So I've got that right there, and I have these little cavities over the side, which you probably wouldn't do, but anyway, that's just if you wanted to have that upstairs as like a living space or something or whatever, you could do that. So that is how that looks, and that is how we go ahead and put that together, and that those are the basic elements right there. So we have that. Now that I've got that, to get rid of the section box, I scroll down here and I uncheck it. I uncheck this, I clear this, and we do that. Boom, we're good to go. And then we're looking like that. Okay, now, so now that we've got that, the very last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pay attention to one more thing, and that is over in this one. I'm going to go ahead and go take a look at the footing. Now the footing is like this. The footing looks like this, and that is right there. It's a floor generic 12 inches. It's a generic 12-inch floor. We've already got that there. But then around the edge, you got something else here. You've actually got a thickened slab edge, okay? Now the thickened slab edge is something that I'm going to take a look at in 3D just to kind of give you an idea as far as how this works. And this one. And this one looks like this here. It's a little, it's a section like here. Now this right here, you'll notice it's kind of like it's a thickened slab that goes on the outside. So this is a slab edge. And when you have a slab, you very often want to have some extra product, extra material to hold it in place. So that's what's happening here. You have like kind of a tooth going down, and that's called your slab edge, right? That's what's going on right there. So that's I got highlighted there. So we're going to put that at the very bottom of our structure here. So to do that, we go out here and we go to our level 1, like here. And what we're going to do is actually you could do this actually in a couple different views. You can do it here too. I'm going to do it right in this view. So right from this view in 3D, I can do this thing. And that is actually, I go to this one, I have to go to structure, and then I go to floor, and then I go to floor structural. And then what I want right here is, wrong one, structure. Let me get the right one here. Okay, let me get out of here. And let's see here. So, actually, I want wall right here. I'm sorry, wall. And under wall, let me do this again. I want slab. Wall. Let's see here. No, let me get the right thing here. All right, make sure you should tell you guys the right thing. So we go out to here, and this is actually right here. Okay, so that is actually a slab edge thickened 24 inches by 12 inches. Slab edge thickened. Okay, let's try that again. So back out to this 3D view, and we want the slab edge thickened. We don't want that. We want that. So I'll go out here, and we'll go to architecture, floor. Nope, structure. It's got to be structure. Okay, so we got it here. Structure. Okay. Okay, I think that's it right there. Structural foundation slab. Let's see. Nope. Slab edge, is that it? That's it. I'm sorry, I was looking in the wrong place. I'm trying again. So it's under floor right here, slab edge. So it's under structure, floor, slab edge. Again, structure, floor slab edge right here. Okay, now you'll notice it says slab edge thickened 24 by 12. And then you just would click on these elements down here. And you see what that just did there? It just went ahead and placed this down here. So I'll click it again, does that again. You take a look at it, you can see it's adding that extra product at the bottom. So you can click on these, and this you can do from 3D, not a problem. And when you're done with that, you can rotate it through and it looks like that right there. So that's what you have going on right there. That's 24 inch by 12 inch, and that's what you have there. Then what you would do then is the very last thing you would do in this, I'm going to save it and then we'll complete this thing. And that's going to all we're going to do for tonight. So going here to footing. Under your footing, it's going to look, okay, let's go here. Under footing, looks like this right here. Now what we want to do is we want to draw a, we're going to use our annotate tool to go ahead and create a, what's called a detail line. And a detail line, we can go ahead and click on detail line and we can go ahead and make a rectangle here, which is what we're going to do. I'm just going to make a rectangle and I'm going to go from here, go down like this. So you'll notice as I'm drawing it right here, I've got to draw it at a certain size. And this one, I think this one's got to be, what's that got to be? 24 by 18. I think that's the right size like that. Let's see, it's got to be, that's 3. Okay, that's not quite right. So it's got to be, I think 20, it's got to be 26. Yeah, it's going to be 26 by 20. That's actually what it's got to be. So we click on that. So I just made that 26 by 20. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it. And now you'll notice I can't select it all. It just grabs one line. But if I hit my tab key, I can select the whole thing. Then I just like move around with my cursor right here. And that's what you want to do right there. And you're going to, it's going to find it. And that's basically what it should look like right there. That's what your dashed lines should look like. Again, going back over here to our footing over here. And this is what it looks like right there. And then it's going to say thickened edge slab 12 inch by 24. Thickened edge slab 12 inches by 24. And that is probably 1/4 inch as well. Yes, it is. So we'll go back and use that. So to use this notation, we're going to go right over to, okay, right to here. Be sure this is not there. You're not in there. On you. Select. All right. All right. We'll go ahead and go here. So under annotate text and go here. And then I'm going to go here and we'll just like we did before and whatever. We'll go here. And then what do we say? Thickened slab edge 12 inch by 24. Okay. Okay, and again, that's too small. So I can go ahead and click here and change it to Arial. Change the Arial. Come on, you. Change this to 1/4 inch. There we go. Thicken slab edge 24 by 12 inches, which I think is the same. 12 by 24. Oh, well. So I can go ahead and edit that. And like that. And when you got that, you just go ahead and click there. Okay, and that completes the basics. Okay, that would give us our basic elements. So now that we've done that, we can take a look at this. We can see that our elevations are pretty much complete. You see these different views right here. This is what we got in place right now. So this is all going with this that I just made here. And then we go ahead and take a look at our floor plans. Our footing looks like that. Our level 1 looks like this. And our level 2 looks like that. And that is how we go ahead and complete this right here. By the way, if you get the same thing with your walls right here, don't worry about that. Don't worry, that's not the most critical thing right now. I think it's because I didn't join the walls the first time, so don't worry about that. The only thing I might do is go back here and make sure they're all connected. That would be the only thing. Maybe they didn't. Oh, that's why. Okay, I think that's why it's right there. See that? They're not connected. I'm going to click on this wall. I'm going to go ahead and do this, attach it. See if that does the trick. That might have been all that it was. Sometimes these little idiosyncrasies, they kind of act up. They don't give you what you're after. Okay, and then we go back here. Let's see if that's better now. Yeah, that is better. Yeah, that is better. Okay, I think we're good to go. Okay, yeah, this one. Okay, yeah, we fixed that one. Then it'll just be the other one. So the other one also has the same kind of condition. So you go back to my 3D view, and I would go ahead and I would look at this one. Let's see how we're doing here. So it looks like there's a little bit of a okay, a little notch. It's not connected. Maybe in the back. Let's see here. Not sure. You got to do a little bit of investigation sometimes to get these to work. Or sometimes you just got to grab the wall and just do this, attach top base, you know, like that. Do this. Just to kind of clean that up. Happens sometimes. Yeah, all better now. Okay, so that's just how you do that. Okay, so that's all better. Okay, they just needed to be connected. So that is all I've got for you guys tonight. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to pause that right now. And well, first I'll stop for questions. Any questions about this right here? It's pretty straightforward. It's taking what you've learned so far, but we're adding a little onto it, and we're seeing actually how to make a second story, which we just saw right there. So that's how it looks, and this is how to go through the basic process. I've got a lot of content out here as far as it is, but this is the video I'm going to make available to you so we can go through these step by step. But I also go through this with, you know, minor different presentations and all the different tutorials I have out there. So that's what I have available for you guys. So that's it for right now. So are there any questions right now?
Yeah, real quick. I had an issue viewing the roof from the second floor. I kind of got lost in that one part. Can
Sure.
you just run through that again?
Yep. If you're trying to see the roof from the second floor, like right now, I'm not seeing it. What you would do is you would go up here to view. You go to view, and under view, this is how we go here, and we go to visibility graphics. Okay. You can also access this by typing VV or VG, but this is how you go through the menu: view, and then visibility graphics.
Okay.
Then over here, it's like turning on a layer. You go down here and you can actually turn on the layer right down here. I'll do the same thing. You go to roofs, you click on roofs, and watch what happens. I just hit apply and watch what happens to my model. I hit apply, and there it shows up.
Okay. Yeah, got it. Thank you.
Makes sense, yeah. And then when you're done with it, you just go and you do the opposite. There you go. Awesome. Okay. Any other questions? Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So you forgot to start recording like a minute or two after you started the lesson. Could
Yep.
you repeat what that first couple minutes were?
Yeah, I kind of did already. I already did. I basically started by just like saying, this is what we're going to do, and this is what it looks like. Then I backed up. So I already did that at the very beginning. I kind of went back and gave a quick, because I was just giving a summary of what we did. So that's already been included.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, so you should be fine. If you have any questions, again, please feel free to contact me, but it should all be there, no problem. I always start off with a little bit of overview, and that's what that was. Then I kind of, after I gave a little overview, I started the recording, and then I went over the overview kind of quickly. But I don't think you're not going to miss anything.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right. Well, what I'm going to do right now is I am going to stop the movie. All right, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to stop.